Okay, real talk. If you're saying come stai every time you want to ask someone how they are in Italian, I get it. That's what the textbook said, right? But here's the thing, I've rarely heard come stai in actual Italian conversations. There's a lot of alternatives they use. And if you actually want to sound natural and not like you just walked out of a Duolingo lesson, I've got you. Today, I'll show you what to say instead so you can actually feel like you belong in Italy and not like you just read a textbook. I'm Maria, I'm a native English speaker, and I learned Italian from complete scratch so I could speak with my family over in Calabria. And I used to overthink everything. And I used to also trust the textbook blindly. But after having gone to Italy and actually hearing how Italians actually speak, I've helped hundreds of English speakers break past that textbook sounding robotic Italian and finally sound natural so they can have Italian conversations that actually cause them to connect and bond with people in Italy. I created this whole channel to help you do exactly that. Here's my student Ellen, who felt that textbooks and apps in Italian weren't really teaching her the essential things for conversation.
So this class kind of filled in a lot of the gaps and spaces that I wasn't getting from the other things that I was studying. So yeah, it filled in a lot of things for me. Oh, that really helps me to understand something that I read or I was listening to. I'm like, oh, okay, that's a verb. Now I can recognize all kinds of verbs. And, it's just easier, to learn the language that way. So it definitely filled in a lot of the gaps for me. Well, just the ability to be able to communicate where you're at. I mean, obviously you go to Italy, they're all speaking Italian, and to better understand what's going on around you is like a total plus, a total advantage. And it would just make your travels to Italy so much more rewarding and happier. I mean, like that you would be able to communicate, especially if there was some kind of an emergency or you needed to tell someone something, or this obviously is the way to go for sure.
If you're also craving that real world Italian that will get you to make those connections with people, then click the link below for my completely free full 60-minute Italian lesson, perfect for beginners. You'll finally master those really tricky Italian sounds coming from English in a way that makes connections and not like a textbook and causes people to feel awkward around you. The link is below, you'll find it really valuable and you'll start speaking immediately. Come stai is very common. It's one of the first phrases you learn in Italian, and it is used in Italian. It's a totally okay way of saying, how are you? However, it does sound really textbook, and you should know all the ways to say, how are you to somebody, or they might say them even to you. So it's good to know. Tutto bene? Tutto bene? And they'll usually say it with that sort of intonation and rhythm. Tutto bene? So practice that. This literally means all good. It's casual, it's warm, it's super versatile. You can use it with almost anybody. Another, come va? How's it going? Come va? This one's a go-to for me. I happen to say it all the time, and I've actually in my mind replaced come stai with come va because it just does sound way more natural and makes me look not like a textbook. Another one, tutto a posto? Tutto a posto. This one's a good one. It's translated a little funny word to word, English to Italian. So the translation would be, is everything in its place? In more colloquial translation, a better translation would be, is everything okay? Everything's good? Everything's going well? This one's super friendly and conversational, so use it with people that you're familiar with, like friends, colleagues, family members. Another one, this one's a little longer. Come vanno le cose? Come vanno le cose? How are things going? Literally, how are things going? And if all else fails, if they greet you first and they say come stai, you can say that right back. Or if they say come va, you could say e tu come va? How are things going for you? So if you forget everything, you could just totally reflect what that person says to you. These options help you seem way more friendly and confident and like you know what you're saying, like a local, as opposed to taking out a phrase book like any tourist would and saying, oh, how are you is come stai. If this kind of real world, like a local Italian is what you're looking for, then click the link below for my free Italian lesson, perfect for beginners. I'm here to tell you that you don't need more grammar drills, boring textbooks, or phrase books where you have to look up every single word. You need real, practical Italian that actually helps you build authentic connections with people. And that's how I'm able to speak with my family when I go to Italy and actually discuss things that I love talking about. And how Ellen went from feeling like she was learning nothing with textbooks and apps to actually holding conversations that meant a lot to her. So if you're watching this thinking, wow, no one's ever explained it to me like this, or wow, I actually want to build authentic connections with people, then please check out my free lesson. I give you the whole how-to right there. Link is below. If you found this helpful, please click the like button, leave a comment. It really does help spread these videos out to others learning Italian, and maybe share this with a friend who you know is also learning Italian. Don't forget to subscribe and watch this next video right here. It's filled with tips on how to speak Italian like a local. Ci vediamo. Ciao.